Hello everybody, my name is Coolblue and I'm bringing out this video of me playing a board game, and today we are going to be continuing our Final Girl saga, as we see here in front of us. Today, oh, I don't have my pointer, oh no, found it, haha. All is saved. Today we're going to be playing Final Girl. We're going to be doing the Poltergeist playthrough, and this is going to be a continuation of the Scenario and Lore book, sorry, pointer. This is the continuation of the Scenario and Lore book playthrough that we have here. And I will be fighting the Poltergeist. So, I'm currently only planning to finish the Poltergeist one. I've done the Hans one already. So if you want to go check out the series, go check out the previous videos in this playlist. If you look at the playlist, or if you're not, there's other videos that exist that have Hans in there. So feel free to go check those out. Also, I'm considering doing the rest of them, but I'm not sure if I want to. More so just kind of like, yeah, you know, I kind of pulled the things that I want to from this game, and I don't want it to overstay as welcome, but also it'll be nice to have a full set. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see. So moving forward, though, we have here set before us the Poltergeist. This is the table that we had set before us. There are some dice counters that I'll talk about once we zoom in on that area. But there's the Poltergeist over there. That's Helena Creech. I think Helen is her name. Trying to roll this dice to 1. There we go. Nailed it. That's Helena Creech up there, or the Poltergeist as we like to call her. And then we have my board set up over here. We have my stuff set up over here. My starter cards are here. This is a little piece for my pointer. It's actually a back scratcher. You didn't see that at all. And yeah, we got everything set up. So the two things to point out, just in case this is your first video seeing of me do my playthrough, there are 2 modifications I'm using here. Technically 3 if you count the stat sheet. But the 2 mods I'm using are the Queens of Horror deck and the tenacity counters. If you want to know more about those, go check out the earlier video that I did explaining the modifications and the mods. Just know that I'm playing with them because they allow myself to enjoy this game a lot more than just the base game by itself. So that said, if you see these things and you don't like them or you don't want to play them in your game, that's fine. If you see these things and you want to try them out, feel free to go check out the links in the description if you want to see links to the mods. And also, I'm live streaming right now, so Woo. Excuse me, sorry. Whew, that hurt. I'm live streaming right now, so if you want to see these playthroughs live in the future, feel free to go check out my Twitch live stream, which I'm not going to bother stating because I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's in the description of this YouTube video, assuming that you're watching on YouTube. All right, cool. So everything's all set up. Oh, of course, we have our esteemed guest way over here, hiding away from me. Our Palm Island box. Yes, Palm Island. Great board game. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I love this game so much. But also, it's a great dice box. So that's what we're using it for. Okay, cool. All right. Oh, before we zoom in, I do need to set up the item deck. I'm just going to do this on the recording so that way people know that I'm not like doing anything shady. We have our 10 items. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that the game called for according to the lore book. And then we have Mr. Floppy and Carolyn right there. And we're going to shuffle them into the deck the best we can, to the best of our abilities. And we're going to give it a nice random. Actually, ooh, I shouldn't have done that. It's too late. And then I'm going to draw 3. So this is for the garage, the attic, and the closet. Okay, cool. There we go. And the reason I'm doing that is because Mr. Floppy and Carolyn cannot be on the top. They must be at the bottom of the deck. So it's easier for me to do it this way so I don't accidentally reveal. I have to reshuffle everything. So 1, 2, 3 to the closet. 1, 2, 3 into the attic. 1, 2, 3, of course, to the garage. All right, so those are all set up. We now know that I did those randomly, and I have no idea where Carolyn and Mr. Floppy are. All right, cool. So that's what we got set up for that. So let me go ahead and zoom in. Oh yeah, well I'll explain this now. So I'm gonna zoom in here. We'll zoom in all the way. Yeah, zoom in all the way. I'm going to zoom in here. This is the view that we're going to stay at the entire game for the rest of this video, pretty much. I might zoom out if I really need to, but you're not going to see everything else. So that's why we have all this information here. So what we have here is we have these dice, we have that die, and we also have these dice over here. Plus, eventually we'll have this, which is tracking the bloodlust. But this keeps track of the horror level. We're currently started at 3 according to the Poltergeist. This keeps track of how many dice I get to roll, with yellow being 2, green being 3, and red being 1 according to the normal track that we have over here for the Final Girl. So according to this normal track, as you can see, the higher we get on the horror level, the less dice you roll. So it'll switch to red die, blah blah So that's what that's all about. Also, you'll notice that I have here a white token, which is improper. Normally you have a black token that you randomly pick from the bag and you put there. The reason why I do it this way is because instead of trying to draw or take a black token, shuffle it, and then pretend I didn't see the bottom of it, I instead do it as a bag pulling. So all 9 black possible come to life tokens are in here. With those 9, there's 6 that are blank and 3 that are life. So once I die, I'll do that, or assuming I die, I'll do that and come back and possibly not come back. Here we have our time. That's how much money I get to spend during my planning phase to buy things. This is my health. These are tenacity counters. And then these are the normal dice that we see down here, right there. All right, cool. So that is all that. Oh, sorry. This is how hard the ghost is punching for, and this is how fast the ghost is moving. So that's what those two track. If the ghost had health, there would be a D20 that keeps track of the health, but the ghost is not something that I fight, so I do not have that there. And then, of course, this is the bloodlust level, but the bloodlust is currently 0, so we put that off screen for now. And there's that. So that is all the things that we have on the table to talk about. So starting event, starting setup, we have here, we have the ladder. So we see we have the ladder, so we got one person there, 2, there's me, there's the one up there, there's 2 in the attic, 1, 1, 1, and then 1, 1, 1. The killer's here in the corner in the dining room. Oh, sorry, ballroom, not dining room. And there we go. So that's my setup for this map. So that is where we're starting. And the rules say, there are no special rules for this one, but the rules do say start with Ghost Hunters as your first event. So my initial event is Ghost Hunters, or Ghostbusters. Ghost Hunters is what it says. So let's go and read this together. Once that focuses, there we go. It says replace the 3 victims closest to you, or as many as you're able, with the special victim meeples. These victims will not follow you until one of them has been killed. Each time one of these victims is killed, +1 bloodlust. There we go. So the closest victims to me by distance, because I cannot go up this way until I have a rope ladder, which is one of the items that exists, but I do not have it right now, and it's not currently showing. The closest victims to me would be these 2 for sure, and this one, because that's 1, 2, 3. Or I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, yep. 1, 2, 3. So these 3 are the Ghostbusters. So I kind of smacked them all around. My bad. Sorry, Ghost Hunters, not Ghostbusters. So very high chance that they'll all die. Also, the fact that it's +1 bloodlust when they're killed is really annoying. So that means that I have to haul all kinds of butt to get all this done. All right. So that is all done. Also, the event deck was made up of 3 random events. The events where no one comes back, lights out, and push to the edge. So these events could possibly come out. I'm hoping no one comes back, does not come out, but you know, you never know. Also, lights out. I hate that card so much. I need like a light to actually move, which the current light, the only light source that I have right now is the candle, which is in the attic. So I need to go all the way up to the attic to get that. So part of me is considering just running to the attic to see if I can get that, but I don't know. We'll see. Also, the ghost 10 tarot cards are here. I'm just going to shuffle these, give it a good shuffle, and then cut. Top 2 cards. Boom, done. And then also the Queens of Horror deck. We're going to initialize this now. So I'm going to shuffle it 3 times like I normally do, or like I've done in the past. 2, 3, and then I'm going to take out the top 3. 1, 2, 3. So if anybody wants to know how the Queens of Horror deck works, like I said, I made a whole video on it, but just to give you a quick rundown, just in case this is your first video watching, I can use it instead of dice, basically. And then I also have ways to manipulate that deck by spending 3 times during my planning phase to get rid of a card in the discard, or I could spend 2 times to force it to reshuffle. And also before I use it, each time I reshuffle, I must take the top 3 cards from it and put those to the side, which those are the 3 I took off top. And then also there's shuffle indicators inside of there that tell me when to shuffle. Once 2 of those are my discard, I have to shuffle. And some more rules. There's a whole rule sheet on it. Tenacity counters. Basically, I'm playing on Nightmare mode. But for tenacity counters, there's 3 different modes. I'm just going to explain the Nightmare one because it's only relevant. This is my 1, this is my 2. Anytime I do a horror roll and I accept it, as in I don't do any rerolls, and I do a reroll and I get the final result, every 1 that I accept bumps this up by 1. Every 2 that I accept bumps this up by 1. And once these reach their 5, then I get a free star to cash in the future. And it's just kind of one of those mechanisms that says, hey, we know the dice are not dicing for you, so we're going to give you a little bit of relief. But if I have to make a horror roll of 3 for some reason, hypothetically, just to give you an example, if I have to do a horror roll of 3 and I want to cash this in, and I cash that in, then I roll only 2 dice because I have 1 star plus whatever this dice roll is, which is this case 2 stars and a partial, and that will be what I accept. And also as an extended bonus, if let's say I'm doing a horror roll of 2 and I cashed that in to be a star, and then I rolled a star and a 2 and I really wanted a full success. If I do a reroll, assuming I have a reroll on my hand or ability to reroll, then this is lost. That means I go back to rolling dice or flipping cards instead. So that goes a long way to say that I got to be very wise about when I use my tenacity counters. So cool. All right. Just glad we all got that quick rundown. Just in case you were wondering, just in case it's the first video you want to watch and you didn't want to go back and watch the mod video. Also, this is a stat sheet. This is about your statistics. I'll definitely talk about this a lot as we go through the game because I use this to make my decisions. Basically, if I'm rolling this many dice, what are my chances of getting stars? And if I'm rolling this many dice, what are my chances of getting a star or a partial? That's all it means. So yeah, cool. On the bright side, I can get my power by rescuing 4 people, and my power as Selena is when resolving a search action card, roll 2 additional die. So maybe I can survive if I can get 4 people out of here. I don't know what the best way to do that is because the Ghostbusters are not going to follow me. So I'll definitely need to go upstairs, which I hate. So that means I might as well try to plan on searching in the attic. But let's go ahead and get started then, since we got everything all set and ready to go. So my plan currently is to go into the attic so I can get the candle. Because candle, the earlier I get the candle, the better. The candle card, for those who don't know, basically means that whenever there's something that reduces my movement, oh, it says once per action phase. Oh no. Okay, never mind. This is a lot worse than I thought it was. Sorry. Once per action phase, you may move a victim from an adjacent space to your space. Also, I think with the event lights out, if I have candle or flashlight, I can ignore the event. So I think that also gives me the benefit of that. Don't quote me on that. I think it does, but don't quote me on that. Or do quote me on that and just be wrong with me. Alright, so we got our focus, walk, short rest, weak attack. So I'm going to go ahead and do a walk. And the current plan for me is to try and go upstairs into the attic. I'm laser focused on trying to get to the attic. I would like to, actually, okay, what I'll do is I'll roll to try and get to the attic. If I get 1, 2, 3, 4, no, that's not enough. I was going to say if I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll try to rescue that person. But I think they might die because there's a tarot card in here that kills them. Actually, I lied. That's not true. But at any rate, the ghost is going to do ghost things, and the ghost is going to choose either this one or this one to kill, and that's the bad part. So we'll see. Because the ghost moves for 1, 2, so they can reach everybody. No way for me to get everybody to get the heck out of the way. So we're going to start with our walk. We're going to do our customary thing of taking our Queens of Horror deck for a spin. So instead of rolling dice for my 2 rolls, I'm going to flip 2 cards. I could flip 1 card and roll 1 die, or just roll 2 dice. But I'm going to go ahead and flip... Oh, you know what? Sorry, before I do all that, let me take a step back. I forgot to do the dramatic reading. Man, I'm over here strategizing and stuff. I'll do the dramatic reading now. Recently, a young family of 4 moved in from out of state. The Johnsons thought they hit the jackpot and bought the Creech Manor at a too-good-to-be-true price. They quickly moved in and began renovating. It didn't take long for them to realize that the manor was not like the other house. Strange things were happening, and the longer they stayed, the worse it got. One night, a fierce storm came through. The thunder drowned out the screams of the little girl Carolyn as she was dragged from her bed by an unseen force into infinite darkness. Mr. Johnson, uncertain of what was happening, typed the word Poltergeist into a search bar on his computer, and at that exact moment, the lights flickered and the screen went blue. The blue screen of death. Except there was no fail or error codes. No, just the cursor moving as words were mysteriously typed into the screen. Daddy, help me, I'm trapped. Help me, Daddy. Days later, paranormal investigators from all over the state showed up at the family's behest, hoping anyone could get Carolyn back. Selena's paranormal enthused adrenaline junkie boyfriend asked her to come with them. Despite her gut telling her to sit this one out, she begrudgingly agreed. Selena spent the first night exploring the manor, more out of curiosity than in an attempt to find the girl. When the door of the upstairs bedroom slammed closed and locked suddenly, she was scared but assumed that her boyfriend was pranking her. No one answered her cries for help. There was a computer in the room, and despite it not being plugged in, it lit up, and she began seeing the words typed to the screen. "Help me! We have to get out of here! I'm in the..." And right at that moment, the face of Helen Creech flew out of the screen, terrifying Selena half to death. As much as she wanted to get the hell out of there, she knew that she couldn't leave Carolyn behind. All right, that's the lore for this one. Cool story. All right, now let's go back to our thing. So we're gonna do what we were talking about before. We're gonna go to the attic. It's gonna be a long walk, so let's go and do it. So speaking of long walks, let's play a walk. And like I said, we're gonna go and do our customary flipping cards. So 2 cards. Card 1, it's a fail. Card 2, it's a success. So for the Queens of Horror deck, for my deck, as far as how I have mine built, red queens are 5s, black queens are 6s. So this is a 2 and this is a 5. So a 5 is a full success right there, and a 2 is a fail, just in case you're wondering. So there you go. So that means I got 1 success, so I lose 1 time, and I move 1 space. Cool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do a walk. This is our last walk, and we are going to roll 2 dice. Yeah, we're gonna roll 2 dice. So in the Queens of Horror deck, for me, as far as the build goes, there's 4 of each number in there. So there's 4 6s, 4 5s, 4 3s, 4 6s, 4 5s, 4 4s, 4 3s, 4 2s, 4 1s, and then there's 3 shuffle indicators in there. So knowing that I've burned 1 queen and 1 2 already, I kind of don't want to play around with it too much without any rerolls. So I'm gonna go ahead and just roll my dice. Oh, also I accepted a 2, so that means that this goes up. All right, cool. All right, back over here, we have a partial success and a fail, so I have no way to reroll that, so I will have to accept it. So I'm going to get another tenacity counter, which is nice, and I am going to discard 2 cards to make that partial success a full success. So the traditional short rest, weak attack, bye-bye, and those go down there. And I will now move my 1 entire space after losing 1 time. And I cannot take these people with me because that's what the event card says. So I will move 1 space that way and be sad. You know, alternatively, I could take a hit. I could take a damage and move, but then I lose a time. So what I'm considering doing is, instead of dropping the weak attack and short rest, I'm considering doing the walk by losing 1 health, moving 1 space, and losing 2 time. But if I do that, I'm going to be down by a lot of time. So actually, no, I take it back. I'm not going to do that. That's a bad idea. It's an awful idea. I mean, the chances of me rolling what I wanted in that roll, because like a double success would be nice. There's an 11% chance of me getting that. But on a partial, just 1 success, there's an 89% chance of me doing that, which is what I did both times. So I guess, statistically speaking, this all came out exactly as we thought it would. So who would have thought? Who would have thought stats made sense here? All right, so we're done with that. I got 2 cards left in my hand, and I got 4 time to spend. So I will purchase cards. We said that I want to try to search upstairs. I don't think I have the right combination of things to search in the attic. So I'm going to continue to try to run upstairs. And this is going to be a 1, 2, 3. So I will take a single sprint and 2 close calls. And the idea being that between the sprints, all I'm going to try to do next turn is sprint. So for those who've never played this game before, or if you have played this game and you know, maybe might be having a little trouble with everything, I am by no means an expert at things, but looking at the statistics of the sheet, statistics of the sheet, the analysis and the conclusion I've come to is that, yes, you start the game with 6 cards in your hand, but you only have 2 actions. Because if you have 2 fails, or if you have, like I had in my situation, I played 1 card, and then I had a partial success, that's 3 cards played. So if I start with 6 cards in my hand, I can only do 1 action. Or sorry, if I start with 3 cards in my hand, I can only do 1 action. If I want a full success, then I might need to discard more cards or get lucky and actually get the stars that I need. But in total, the more you play cards, the more you're tempting fate. Because the more I can rely on this chart, the better my chances of actually doing okay are, or the higher those chances go, I should say. But that goes a long way to say that, yes, I do have in my hand 2 close calls, a sprint, and 2 focuses. But I'm gonna play this as if all I really want to do is sprint. Because yes, I got 5 cards in my hand. Yes, I technically have 3 actions in my hand, but I really only have 1 action. Because this sprint could possibly go off and be a full success and a partial. That means I'm able to move 3 spaces anyway, discard these 2 focuses, and move on with life. So my next turn is going to be kind of short, is what I'm trying to say. Now that I finished our purchasing phase, this resets back to 6. These all clear out. And the ghost is going to start doing ghost things. So, the ghost, much different from Hans in some of the other killers, the ghost will target the nearest final girl or victim, prioritizing victims first, and then walk towards them and then swing. The ghost movement speed at level 1 is 2, and the ghost can basically 1-2 or 1-2. So when you have a situation like this to where the killer or the ghost or the murderer, whatever you want to say, has a split decision, the game gives you 3 options. Option number 1 is to choose the one that's the most thematic. Option number 2 is to choose the one that's worst for you. And option number 3 is to choose the one that's the funniest. I like option number 4, which is roll dice. So I'm going to roll dice. Which in this case, there's a 50-50 chance. So we'll call this one low and this one high. Because that's 1 to 2 and this is 3. So if it's a low roll, then the ghost will go this way. If it's a high roll, the ghost will go that way. Wait, do I get that right? Yes, I think I have that right. Do I have that right? Yes, I had that right. Okay, so low is here, high is there. No, high is here, low is there. Right. So we rolled low, so the ghost is going to go this way. So 1, 2, slap, and the ghost is all of a sudden increasing the horror by 1, of course. And the amount of damage that the ghost is doing per hit and the speed they're moving stays at that, and their bloodless is at 1. Oh, and that was a Ghostbuster, wasn't it? So that means it's going to go up again. Because whenever one of the Ghost Hunters dies, which is what that one was, we're going to get +1 to the bloodlust. So we actually go up 2, which is unfortunate. Because the dark power is revealed, which is forget something. This is part of the reason. Well, I don't know if I said it during the recording, but I don't think this first scenario is designed for me to actually win this one. I will need to rescue 4 people to have the best chance of actually achieving this one, because I got to find 2 items now. So it says you may not win you may not win the game unless you reach the exit space with Carolyn and Mr. Floppy. So that's the nonsense we got to deal with here today. So RIP my chances of winning already, just by 1 death. And then now that that's happened, we are going to reveal the first tarot card, which is something is coming through the wall. So this one says, if there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next tarot card. Otherwise, all victims panic. Any victims that exit through a window are killed. And then we draw an event. Alright, so all victims panic. So we'll do these window victims first. Whoops. We will do the top one first. Now, I can, if I want to, use the deck, or I can use the dice, knowing that I kind of don't want to use the deck because there's some valuable queens in here, some valuable 5s and 6s in here. So I don't really have much faith in it drawing the low numbers. Although I could try to use it to try to get those numbers out of the way. I mean, this is a lot of rolls to do that for, because I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, I can try to flip 9 cards. Or I can try to flip 4 cards and roll 5 dice. Also, these do not count for tenacity counters for me. In any other mode, if you play in a normal mode or easy mode with the tenacity counters, these rolls could count for your tenacity counters. But on nightmare mode, they do not, because nightmare mode is about giving you the worst possible experience. So I'm going to flip 3 cards just because I can. So we're going to do these 2 first. So card 1 is a 4, so they're going to panic 4, which pulls them down. And card 2 is of course, a 6, so they're going to panic down as well. I'm not going to flip any more cards because I don't want to waste my cards like that. That feels so wasteful. I'm going to roll dice. So I've moved those 2 in the attic. They've moved from the attic, which is nice. Now we're going to do this one. We're going to go 3. We're going to go this way. It's a party in this one room here. This one is going to panic. It's a 2. They're going to stay where they are. These two are going to panic. Doesn't matter which one. 3 and a 5. They both go this way. Oh, look, they hang out with me. Oh, I can escape with them now, which is great. And then these two are the ones who are... Oh, let's do this one down here. It's a 3. They're going to go this way. And just to confirm, yeah, the number I should be following is the one that's attached to the room, not the one that's in the room beside it. Yeah, okay, just making sure. Because otherwise this room here would have the number on this side and not that side, because this is a one-way room. So yeah, so that person's panicked. Now these two are the last ones, so we're going to do the one at the top first, and they successfully jump. That one's going to panic as well, and they do not jump. They instead go this way. So that's 1 death, 1 bloodlust increased. We're at bloodlust number 3 on turn numero uno. So yeah, that's the nonsense that we got to deal with today. So I guess I don't need to sprint up to the attic. Well, okay. I still need to sprint to the attic because I do want to get that candle, and I do want to also search the deck. But if I can get 4 people rescued, then I can just work my way back up there. I'm not able to I'm not able to take the victims into a space where the ghost is or where the killer is. So I could try to use a sprint to go either direction, either this way or that way. I would like to try to go, no I can't, because we just talked about I can't go into this room at all because the ghost is here. It would be nice if I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, but I only have 3, a max of 3 with move up to 2 spaces. So never mind, it's not even a possibility. So 1, 2, 3 will get me here. 1, 2, 3 will get me there. This all kind of sucks. This all kind of sucks. So I don't know which one is the better option, to be honest. Let me consider my options here. All right, let's just sprint first and see what we're gonna get. I'm gonna roll dice for this one, not flip cards. I feel like some good cards have been burnt. And we got a partial and a fail. I got some rerolls though, so if I accept that fail though, I get another tenacity. So that's my dilemma. 1 extra tenacity would be nice for the future, but I do want to definitely get these people out of here because these two specifically will raise the bloodlust level by a lot. So I think it's worth me spending the close call and losing 2 time to reroll both of these. Actually, okay, nope, I lied. I'm going to spend the close call and reroll just the 2 because I'm about to get all the zeros back. So I can make that a full success with 2 focuses. So I'm going to roll. Hey, nice. All right, that's the most efficient way for me to use those resources. Now the question is, do I want to try and go this way and be greedy? I can only carry 2 people with me, 2 max, and I really only need to rescue 4. You know what? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stick with this original plan. So I'm discarding these 2 focuses, and then I'm going to escape with these people. So 1, 2, jump out the window, 3, and then these 2 are rescued. So that's here and there. And this one's going to reduce the horror level by 2 for me. This one's going to give me 2 time. So I lose 1 time for the run that I did, for the sprint that I did down here. I did do a reroll, but I did not spend 2 time to reroll all of them. I rerolled just 1, but I still lose 1 time for the sprint. So that's 5. And then this person, putting this person here is going to give me 2. So I'll go to 7. And then putting this down here is going to reduce the horror by 2, which is great. So from 4 to 2. So the ghost, the poltergeist's next step for killing somebody is going to increase the horror level by 2. So I basically made it null for a moment. So I canceled out the horror increase that the ghost is going to do ultimately. So that's nice. And I'm also halfway towards this. So now I need to just kind of run up here again, and then hopefully rescue that cluster of people. So that's a long run. I can also try to do 1, 2, 3, assuming the ghost doesn't go this way. Or I can, if the ghost does go this way, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means I'll need both walks that I'm about to get plus a sprint. I don't know. At any rate, I'm going to end my turn there. I'm going to hold onto this card. And we are going to get all these zeros back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 5 cards in my hand total. And now I got to figure out what to do with my 7 time. So with my 7 time, it's about the best chance that I have of getting my power before I start doing all the searches is to try and rescue those people up there. Feeling kind of bummed out that I wasn't able to get anything more, but that's the hand that we're dealing with here, y'all. Also, everybody's out of the attic, which is nice, because when the no one comes back... Oh, I didn't draw the next event, my bad. Sorry, the event that should come up will be this one. Lights out. Roll 1 fewer die, minimum 1 when resolving an action that allows movement. Ignore its effect if you have flashlight or candle. We're going to ignore its effect for a moment, because it's convenient for me. But technically, my grand move that I just had would have been just 2 max instead of 3. So let's just ignore that effect for a second, and then from here on out, just notes. Actually, let's put this to the side so I don't forget. I don't know where to put this to be readable, like a reminder. What if I did this? Let's do this, like so. And the ghost hunters are all escaped, so I'm not going to keep them on the screen. I mean, it wasn't on the screen to begin with. Alright, so I'll put that there to try to remind myself. So I roll 1 fewer die, minimum 1, when resolving an action that allows movement. So yeah. So got a little bit lucky. More specifically, played things out of order, and didn't realize that card was there. The only penalty that I'll suffer is that I had to acknowledge that I too am a gamer. LOL. Okay. Moving on though, I have 7 times to spend, so I will purchase a sprint for 2. So I'm at 5. Let me put it down here. So I'm purchasing a sprint for 2, and I would like to try and get a defense just in case. I don't think the ghost is going to attack me, but the ghost could attack me. But also, this is like the best time for me to try to get some searches, you know. And I can also try to do an improvise since I got a close call on my hand. I'm gonna try to get it improvised to make my rolls a little bit better, or at least hold on to it for a little bit. So I got 2 time left, and with that 2 time left, I will purchase a. See, I'm so focused on trying to escape people right now that I don't know if I really want to do, or to grab a search card, because I'm going to be able to get a search card from this. But to be honest, if I just grab the search card now, then I'll have 2 searches, or at least something to throw away, you know? Nah, I'm gonna play on the cautious side. I'm gonna grab a guard. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I got 6 cards in my hand. Well, so I grabbed the guard. So I have 8 cards in my hand. I have a guard, a sprint, and an improvise. Part of me wants to get a distraction, but I think improvise might be a little bit better off right now because I do want to have a reasonable turn. These cards are now liberated. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, same 8. 6 time. And now we start next turn. The ghost is going to activate. There's a tie. We're going to roll a die. All right, sorry. This is low, this is high. Sorry, I should have declared before I rolled. All right, low. I'm going to go this way. It's going to slash that person. And bloodlust is increased. The ghost is now hitting for 2 and moving for 2. And the horror is going to be increased by 2. So from 2 to 4, so close. If I got down to 1, I would be able to roll 1 extra die, which would be nice. Alright, so lights out is active. That means that I can only roll 1 die for walking. So, let's try to make that count. We're going to do improvise. Oh, I didn't do tarot card. Hold on. Tarot card. Psychic Confusion. Ugh, I hate this so much. So, if Carolyn's with you, discard this card and draw the next tarot card, and then discard this card when you find Carolyn. So basically, anytime I move, my first movement each round... Oh, it says roll -1 when resolving a search card. Never mind. Okay, that's not that bad. Prior to playing a search card, you may spin 3 times to ignore this penalty. All right, that's not awful. I mean, it's not great, but I thought it was the other one that made me move randomly. The Poltergeist has another power that basically makes you move randomly on your first move, and that one's really frustrating. It's like I just want to have a perfect path, and the game's like, nope, no path for you, no path for you. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. My bad. All right. Okay, now that we're done with that, so we're going to do our improvise. And with this improvise, we will roll our 2 dice, because we're not moving, we're just rolling. And we do want 2 successes with this, but I don't know if we want to discard any cards for it. Let me see. Yeah, fine. We'll get rid of the weak attack and short rest. Alright. So that's going to give me the Improvise's better effect, which is until this action phase ends, all 3s and 4s are successes. So there you go. So until the end of this action phase, all 3s and 4s are successes, which means that I will be more likely to want to use the Queens of Horror deck. I got my movements, and I can only roll 1 die total, so I'm going to sprint, and I'm going to roll my 1 die, flip a card, shuffle indicator. It's a fail. Of course it would be a fail. I'm going to close call it. The dice actually might be a better proposition right now because they're essentially saying there's a 6-7% chance of me getting what I want. So, also, give me a second. Let me turn my laptop off. It's making a lot of noise. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. Weird things always happening. Yes, let's make less noise or making more noise. So we're doing a close call with that, and we're rolling a dice, because like I said, 6-7% chance that I get what I want. Because that's a 6-5-4-3. No. Yeah, 6-5-4-3. 3. Nice. So that's a success for the sprint card, which means I lose 1 time and move up to 2 spaces. So I can move up to 2 spaces. 1, 2. I'll probably try to rescue this person since I can't move that far anyway. Which is a little annoying. So next card is going to be a walk. And I am going to play all my cards, except for guard, of course. That's a success. So walk, I can move 1 space. Move. Lose 1 time though. So we're down to 4. Rescued. And I will use this card to move 1 space, which is risky, but I'm going to move up this way. It's risky because I'm next to the ghost. And then because I have this persistent walk ability, or persistent improvise, I'm going to go ahead and do the last walk, which is very risky because that means I must buy a walk on my next... Actually, hold on, we did a sprint, then we did a walk and a walk. Is that what we did? Then we did a sprint, 1, 2, walk. So we should be down to 4, yeah. You know, I'm going to hold on to this walk. I'm going to stay where I am there. And I'm going to hold on to this walk. The ghost is going to come target me unless it specifically says target a victim. So that means I got to be prepared to deal with the ghost's damage. But that means that that's 1 less person the ghost is going to be killing. So there's some strategy in that to give me a little bit of time to go and get what I need. So we'll see if this pays off. So I got a walk and a guard left in my hand. My improvise runs out, so it's officially out. I got 4 times to spin. I'm going to get these 2 focuses back, or foci, as they say. And I will purchase a sprint. Oh, no, I was going to say I can get a retaliate. No, I can't hurt the ghost. So I'll purchase a sprint, and I will purchase a... I'll purchase a close call. My goal is to make my way upstairs. It's very difficult, but I'm going to do it. Hopefully. Maybe. We'll see. These cards are not liberated. And we're back to where we started. Oh! Oh no, I didn't accept that, did I? Yeah, I did not accept any 2s. I was like, I got a tenacity. No, I do not. I gotta remember those tenacity things. So yeah, all done, all done with that. Now we're back to the ghost doing awful things. The ghost is going to move. Did I get a second guard? No, I got a sprint and a close call. Yeah, it's fine. I'll just deal with what I got. 1, 2. Ghost is gonna target me because I'm closest. Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5 in the other direction. So 1, 2 to me, and the ghost is going to swing. I will just take the hit. No need in wasting cards right now. And then the terror card comes out, and it's broken. Ah, you jerks. Well, there goes that escape path. Place a broken ladder token covering the ladder on the board. The ladder may no longer be used, and the spaces connected to it are no longer considered adjacent, and then increase the horror by 1. So from 4 to 5. And then my time should have reset. There we go. So we're getting deadly close to having 1 die left. I would like to try to spend a little bit of time getting the horror down, but I would rather not be in the spot where the ghost is. So I'm going to try my hardest to get the heck away from the ghost. Rolling 1 die, which is effectively like being in the horror level of max. This is the worst mechanic of Creature Manor, by far. A partial success. Discard 2 cards. Yeah, I gotta make progress, y'all. This is unfortunate. Discarding 2 focuses. And actually, yeah, discarding 2. So what I'm considering doing is I'm considering doing the close call, but I don't know if I want to, because this is being a partial success means that I can get it with the focuses, because I would rather hold on to the focuses to make sure the horror level doesn't go too out of control. But I don't think the horror level is going to go as out of control as I might be intending. Like even if it goes up +2, I'm still rolling 1 dice for walks. So it's basically the same as it being maxed out horror level, except for now the ghost, whenever the ghost kills somebody, the ghost is going to increase the horror level. So that goes a long way to say that being at horror level 2 and being at horror level 3 is the same thing to me right now, relative to movement. So I'm just going to keep it where it is. Discarding these 2 focuses, and I'm going to move 1. Oh, I get to move 2. It's a sprint, right? Yeah, it's a sprint. And I lose 1 time, so from 6 to 5, and I get to move 2 spaces. So I'll move 2, 1, 2, and then I can walk. And I will now try my hardest to not lose a health, but I might. If I lose 1 health, that'll be convenient. Alright. The one time I don't want a success. Alright, we got a success. I might close call it. No, I'm not going to close call that. I'm just going to take what I got. Walk up here. Oh, I lied. That's not how you get up there. Over here. Well, not that much closer. 1, 2. The ghost can't get me, though. In their next swings. That's fine. Alright, so now we're done with that. That was 2 walks, right? That was a sprint and a walk, so I should be at 4 time total. And now we're going to purchase our stuff. Part of me thinks it might be a good idea to reshuffle the Queens of Horror deck, but I also want to kind of leave where it's at, because we've got 2 2s down here. And we only got 2. We got 2 queens, which is not great, but we got 2 queens only, you know. So I'm thinking those are fine down there. So getting these cards back. 1, 2. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. I got another walk. And I got 4 time to spin. If I get a sprint and a search, I can do 1, 2, walk, and then search in the attic for finally. So I think I might try to do that. I have a guard already in my hand, so I can deal with the ghost punching me or anything punching me. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this sprint and the search. And that means that when I do my roll to search for an item, you know what? You know what? Hold on, man, this is such a slog. Like, I'm not gonna go away, because I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I gotta go a long way, don't I? Ugh. It's got so much worse. I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 movement to do that. So that's gonna be 2, 3. I can do 5. I can get 5 right now if I get 2 sprints. Oh, there's not 2 sprints, there's only 1 sprint. Okay, yeah, I can only do half right now. I have to do the other half later. This is such a good design. I say very, very, very sarcastically. And with much spite. So 1, 2, 3. And then 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean, it's not really worth me getting the candle because I got one dice roll to make it. Although, to be honest, it might be worth me getting the candle. Alright, I'm going to try to go for the candle. And then I'm probably going to increase the horror level to 7 by the time that's done. And then once that's done, then I'm going to get the focuses back, which are down here. And then improve the horror level so I can have my extra dice. My goal is to, like... It sucks because, like, I can either try to run out here with the people with the movement that I have and then get better searches, or I can go ahead and get the candle while I'm up here because it's really difficult to get up to the top. This is why on Creech Manor, me specifically, I really detest the 3rd floor and up. I'm sorry, the 4th floor and higher. Like, why are there 4 floors? Why is it so difficult to get up here? So, oh, because it's a house and you're supposed to feel cramped. It's like, yes, this does not feel cramped. This feels like a waste of walking space. Especially when cars like this come out. And it's like, ugh, you made a bad movement board worse. How dare you? Anyway. Alright, so I'm committing to that. That's all my time spent. I'm holding on to the search and the sprints because I don't have 2 sprints. I got a guard that can deal with the ghost punching me once. It will be convenient for the ghost to punch me for 3. It'll also be convenient for me to lose a health while walking, so we got some flexibilities here. We got some approaches. So that's it. The ghost is going to activate. They're going to move 1, 2, and swing at nobody. Terror card comes out. Unstoppable evil. Roll a die. Take damage equal to the roll. You may defend or kill that many victims. You can choose which victims. If there are not enough victims, you must choose to take the damage. Alright. We're going to roll a die. Great time to be rolling low here. That's 3. Oh, the horror level is at 1, 2, 3, 4. Or bloodlust is at 4. So I can let 3 victims die. It's not an awful idea. Nah, take it back. It's an awful idea. Yeah, I'm just going to take the damage because that gives me a bonus dice anyway. So I'll take that. I will take that as a hit. I'm down to 1 health. That gets me exactly where I need it. Good job, dice. Good job, dice. So I've taken that much damage. I decided not to block any of it. That means that I have to block all other damage. And if the lightning storm comes out... Ooh, do I have a short rest? I do have a short rest in my hand. So that means that the lightning storm won't be able to murder me. The lightning storm is like... I hate that card so much. It's like, where the hell did the storm come from? And like, it does damage to me and then damage to everybody else adjacent to me. And if that card comes out, I'll be in peril. Also, with this sprint, if I roll 0 successes, I lose a health. So, I could possibly die by sprint. It's happened before, so I wouldn't be surprised. So we're going to go ahead and do our sprint now. We are rolling 2 dice because of the horror level, -1 because of psychic confusion. Oh no, I lied. Sorry, -1 because of lights out, and then +1 because of this. So three dice normally, -1 because of lights out. So I'm rolling 2 dice, and I'm rolling dice instead of flipping cards because I kind of don't have the resources to deal with cards at the second. And that's a partial success. We already talked about that. I cannot take a fail. So I'm gonna close call that. We're gonna close call that, and we are going to roll all of it again. So I need this to be not nothing. If this is nothing, then that's it. The game's over. I died. Alright, it's not nothing, but it's definitely not what I wanted. So I had to get rid of the weak attack and the walk. And that's going to give me a tenacity, which is cool, and 1 success. So I can move 2 spaces and I lose 1 time. So from 4 to 3. I can move 2 spaces, so I'm going to go hide in the closet with this person because the ghost will go that way because there's more victims that way. And this is equidistant either way. So the ghost will go that way and murder those people instead of me. Hopefully lightning doesn't strike, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and play a short rest. Just going to roll 3 dice because it's 2 for that, +1 because we're at low health. And we got 1 success. That's frustrating. I can make it 2 successes by discarding a search and a guard. Although in hindsight I could have searched, I just realized, but because of the psychic confusion, I would have only been rolling 2 dice anyway. And it would have been a little bit risky. So I'm gonna do this because I'm afraid that the lightning card is gonna come out and kill everybody anyway. So because of that, that means that I will need to. I just need 1 health, honestly. So I'm just gonna take the 1 health. I'm gonna lose the 1 time. So from 3 to 2, and then heal 1, and then I'm gonna end my turn there. There's an energy drink, which is here, which if I can search it, that'll be great, but I'm not gonna. So I'm gonna end my turn there with 2 time total. I got a guard and a search in my hand. I'm gonna get all these zeros back. So I got a walk, and I need a sprint to get out of here. So 1, 2, 3. And then there, oh, actually, oh, I'm not gonna be able to sprint out of here, am I? I might need to pick up that energy drink so I can get that extra move. Man, that's such a awful proposition. I'll be able to get the search back, but still. So right now I need to buy either a close call or a sprint. I will buy a sprint. Alright. So, this. So I do want to take a moment to talk about some of the tension that this game builds up. I've said it many a times in a lot of my critiques at the end of my playthroughs, and I'll say in the middle of this playthrough, is that this game does a great job of building up tension, but that tension is ill-placed. What I mean by that is that this tension, this stress that I'm feeling for things right now is not because, oh man, things are building up and oh, the plot twist, the plot thickens. This tension is more so from the fact of, these dice exist. And it's like that's not good tension. That's like trash tension. That's like garbage, awful, the worst tension. So if the developers ever listen to this and ever hear this, like I've critiqued the crap out of the game at the end of every single one of my playthroughs. So feel free to go check out those if you want to hear my compilation of critiques for how I would change the game, how I would adjust the game, what things I like, what things I don't like. But I do want to mention that, yes, this game is successful at building up this tension, because I have this tension right now of, man, if I do a search, I can get the thing, but if I don't get the thing, then I can't do the other thing. But all that tension is kind of wasted, because that tension is being built out of the simple fact that I can only roll 1 dice. I can roll 1 die total. And that means I can move a max of 3 spaces. And 3 spaces is not enough for me to escape. I need 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to either get the energy drink so I can make that 4, or my person's gonna die. Or alternatively, if lightning strikes, if the storm happens, and my person dies anyway, then I'm gonna have to run all the way over here and do it all over again. So that tension, with air quotes, is not quite tension in my opinion. It's more so just frustrating mechanics. And oh, actually, oh no, I just thought about this. The ghost is gonna go 1, 2, and stand there. So that means that I'm not gonna be able to escape out with this person. That's even worse. And some people are like, oh, that's so cool. That's such a good mechanic. It's like, no, that's not a good mechanic. That is just like, why is there not another way for me to walk out of here? Is my question. Like, there could be like a secret passage here or something. Like this. There's only 2 ways to get down from here, which is either this or this. That's inexcusable in my opinion. Anyway, enough of me ranting about that. I'll talk more about that in my post-game discussion or analysis. But for right now, this is what we're committed to. We're going for this. I'm trying to point these things out as I go along, just to say that I'm not complaining just to complain a lot of times when I'm doing these post-game analysis. But yeah. So the ghost is going to move there and swipe at nothing. And now we're going to have, hey, it's the card I was talking about. Where the hell did this storm come from? Lightning strikes you, or lightning strikes your space and each space adjacent to you. 1 victim in each space is killed, and you lose health equal to the poltergeist's current attack value. Oof. Oh, is that death anyway? Oh no, yeah, that says lose health. That doesn't say take an attack. So I am dead anyway. Hint again, the crappy mechanics I was referring to. But let's go ahead and kill this person. And the horror, or bloodlust, is going to increase by 1, which means the ghost now moves at 3, which is a little bit more scary. And I will take 2 damage, which means I am deceased. So now we go with our 33% chance that 33%, 1 in 9 chance, 3 in 9 chance. So that's if you reduce that fraction down, this is 1 in 3. So there's a 33% chance I get to continue playing, or the game ends immediately here. Let's see. And, oh, I get to come back with 3 health. So I survive with 3 health. The game says, you know what, you've done good. You've done good. We're gonna let you play a little bit more. Let's see if you can dig yourself out of this hole now. Cool blue. Alright, so I've survived that. Things happened. Now I gotta take the long path with all this slow as goodness walking. So the question is, should I get the energy drink or should I move on? I feel like I should move on. Because searching right now is -1 to my roll. I really need to get my power. I need one more person to get unlocked. And this is like, once again, the dilemma being created here is now that I gotta walk all the heck over here because my one person died. I wouldn't have been able to move that person out of here anyway because the ghost parked itself right in front of the door. But even if I run with these people down, the ghost is gonna be able to follow me. So the ghost is gonna follow me, slash a person in my spot, and then they're gonna swing again. So there's like a whole bunch of like frustrating little pieces in there. So let me move. This is, I don't know if I can salvage this. Like the best I can do right now is just go see if I can find Carolyn in Mr. Floppy, because like I said, this first mission feels like they don't want me to win anyway. So I got -1 die to my rolls unless I can find Carolyn. And that means that I'm only going to be able to take the top item if I search. Unless I'm at lower health. I am not able to get lower health. Actually, I am. If the ghost punches me, then I will be at 1 health. So it might be beneficial for me to just walk into the ghost base, hang out there for a turn, and then get punched. And hope that the ghost doesn't traverse further to scare people. That might be worth it. But in order for that to happen, I would need to move into the ghost space. Because the ghost will target victims over Final Girl. And if there's a tie between victims that ghost can choose, ghost will choose more victims than less victims. The Final Girl is not a victim, according to the rules pieces of this game. So I've already died. I can't really come back. So we're in a situation to where I basically need the ghost to hit me so I can get an extra die, and I need to survive. And that's a scary proposition. So let's go ahead and let the game do what the game's gonna do. I'm gonna roll 1 die because I get to walk. Do I have a reroll? I have no rerolls. Uh-oh. Ooh. All right. If I fail this walk, I'm just gonna stay in the same spot and lose 2 time because it's I cannot take any more than 1 hit. So we're gonna do that. Partial success, I can deal with that. So partial success, I am going to get rid of the 2 focuses, and I'm gonna lose 1 time. So from 65, then move 1 space, bloop, hang out there with the ghost. So the ghost is gonna hit me possibly twice, maybe more than twice. Don't know, but that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end my turn there. The idea is that I'm gonna get hit once to get more dice to roll so I can make my walks more successful, my sprints more successful, and then I'm going to have to get as many healing things as I can afterwards. I do not have enough for a long rest and the things I want, so my next turn is basically kind of a coin flip if I'm going to make it or not. We'll see. So I'm going to end my turn there. I'm going to pull back all these. I must buy a guard for 2. I must buy a sprint for 2. And I must buy a close call for 1. So that's all 5 of my time. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 9 cards in my hand. And this could make or break, or this will, not could, but this will make or break the game. So I can have 2 guards, so I can deal with the ghost hitting me twice. I want the ghost to hit me once, and only once. Actually, ooh, since all, no, I'm getting the second guard just in case that clown card, because there's a card in there called Where'd This Clown Come From, where it basically just shows up and punches me. And I could either punch it back with a weak attack, which is risky because I could lose a health for that, or I can guard it. So I think taking the 2 guards is a smart move. I'd rather take the close call though, to be honest with you. I just don't know if I have the proper flexibility to do so. So I am, because I'm gonna be rocking 1 health for a little bit. Yeah, we're just gonna stick with this. This is the higher percentage chance that I'll get hit twice. because if the ghost does an attack that targets the nearest victim or final girl, I'm going to be a goner anyway. And we already talked about I can't come back. I cannot come back. So now that that's all said and done, we're going to have the saddest of moments where the ghost is going to swing and I will take the hit. Ghost is swinging for 2. I'm taking the hit. Oh, the ghost is bloodless is at 5. Sorry. I've not been keeping track of that. So now that's done, we're going to reveal the tarot card. And hey, look, it's the clown card. I promise I shuffle these. We all saw me shuffle these. I'm just trying to call out from what I remember from what's in the deck. So that means I must guard this. I got to block all the damage because the clown is going to do... here we go. Just in case you want to see it a little bit closer. It says a clown doll appears. You may play action cards that inflict damage if you wish. Then, if the clown doll is still alive, you take damage equal to the killer's attack value. You may defend as normal. If you take damage, bloodlust increases. The clown doll disappears. So, I'm not attacking it. I'm not going to risk the weak attack. Although, yeah, no, I'm not going to risk the weak attack because I need 2 successes to make it not bad for me. So I'm going to instead just have the ghost, or have the, let it survive. And then it's still alive, so I take damage equal to the killer's attack, which is 2. So I'm going to play a guard. I'm going to roll 3 dice. 2 because of the horror level, 1 because I'm on the last health. Or +1 because I'm on last health. Part of me wants to flip cards, but I feel like I should just let the dice do the talking, because the base game is built in with the dice. And I have perspectives on dice. And how dice work in this game, but I'll just roll the dice. Alright, okay, cool. So before we continue, I have a reroll. I can make it through this. I can survive this. But I do want to point out, just going to our statistics here. The chances of that happening are just as unlikely as the chances of a full successor happening. So the chances of me getting 3 successes is 4% with 3 dice. The chances of me getting 3 fails is equally 4% with 3 dice. I just happen to be on the short end of the stick, which is a very unfortunate situation. I am going to spin the close call. I'm going to have to spin the close call, I should say. Actually, that's not true. I could spin the guard. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to hold on to the close call. We're going to let that guard be a fail. We're going to let that be 2 tenacity and +1. And then I'm going to play another guard. So when you play guards, when you're guarding for damage, you can play multiple guards. So that means I'm going to let that first one be a fail because that gives me a guaranteed star in the future, which I'll definitely hold on to. And then I'm going to just roll 3 dice again. And I got a close call still, so same scenario. Let's see if I end up on the other end of the spectrum with the 4% chance of getting 3 stars. Close, very close. I only need 2 successes though. The chances of me getting 2 stars with 3 dice is a 26% chance according to this. And the chance of me getting 3 of either stars or partial success is 30% chance. So it's not like a significant difference, to be honest. But I lucked up and got the 2 stars I wanted. So that was fortunate, very fortunate, especially considering what just previously happened. But at least I got some tenacity out of it, you know? That's pretty cool. So I block all the damage that the ghost is going to do, which was 2. And I took no damage, no bloodlust increase, and the doll disappears. Okay, cool. All right. We got our second wind, y'all. We got our extra movement that we needed. So that means that I will now try to sprint and not die. I got two sprints in my hand. And I gotta do, because the people will not walk with me into the space where the ghost is. And having them with me, I can only take 2 with me anyway. So I have to leave somebody behind. So I'm gonna have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to get 8 movement to get out of here. So I have this at max and a single walk at max. So if I get all these at max, then I'll be able to escape them out. I don't know what else happens afterwards. Like I might make it, might not make it. I mean, I got a short rest, so maybe I could. But we'll see if I break my leg on the way. Oh, I did not spend 2 time. Yeah, because I just spent the extra guard. The drawback of doing like double guard move, by the way, is that I will have 1 less guard available. There's only 3 defense cards in this game, and those 2 are now stuck here. 2 of them are stuck here, retaliates the other one. So that's kind of neither here nor there, but it's still a little unfortunate. So I'm going to try to do a sprint, rolling 3 dice. Part of me is wondering if I want to spend that tenacity now. So if I spend that tenacity now, there's a 56% chance I get the other one I want. I mean, I guess I'm kind of already in dire straits. It's like spending it now is the same as spending it later, so I'm gonna spend it now. So that's gonna be 1 guaranteed success, and if I re-roll, I lose that anyway. And then I got a 56% chance of getting the other star that I want from these 2 dice. Oh, okay, thanks game. Yeah, I got the 2 stars I wanted, which is a 11% chance. Woohoo! Percentages are fun to like look at this game because it gives you better perspective and helps you plan better. I don't, you know, some people might say, oh, I don't want to think about this game too much. It's like, well, you say that until you find out that you're getting smacked in the face really hard and trying to figure out why. But once you actually see the statistics, it makes a lot more sense. So 1, 2, 3, and this ladder is unfortunately broken, so we got to go the long way. Get all this mess out of the way. All right, so now I can start charging this again, which is 1 upside, I guess. And I must do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got to do 5 to get out of here. I still got 3 dice with me, and I gotta re-roll. So I'm gonna do the sprint first because it's one of the harder ones to do. So rolling my 3 dice. Okay. I guess search is taking a walk. So search and weak attack are going away. This is getting very risky. So that's a tenacity. And then we have 2 full successes. Oh, I didn't lose my time. Sorry, I lost 1 time for the previous walk or previous sprint. I'm losing another time for this sprint. So down to 4. And I get to move 3 spaces. Yes, 3 spaces. So we're gonna do. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Oh, I lied. Oh man, this is an even shorter path. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I was pathing wrong. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so I just need 1 move without taking the damage. Fingers crossed we get it, y'all. Fingers crossed we get it. We're gonna do our walk. We got 3 dice still. Ooh. Ooh, that hurts. I think we're gonna just go ahead and chill out for a second. We're gonna discard... I don't want to discard the short rest and the close call. But if I use the close call on this and I don't get at least 1 star, which my chances for that are... My chances for 1 star on 3 dice are 70%. How much do I want to gamble is the question. So I have 2 cards left. I could discard those 2 cards right now to get the tenacity for 2 and 1, and then move the 1 space. I'm just going to be stuck at 1 health for a little bit. I might go ahead and just let that ghost kill that person and just chill out for a whole round. And then, the problem is that, like, I'm gonna, yeah. I think it's a better idea for me to not worry about healing. Alright, fine. Fine. Because if I heal, I'm gonna have less dice to walk. Which I have no movement coming up. Like I have 1 walk coming back, I should say. This is highly risky, but I don't think I have any other choice, to be honest. So we're gonna lose the 1 time. We're gonna discard the 2 cards for the success. We're gonna get the 2 tenacity. We're gonna get the 1 tenacity, and at least the 1 is making its way up. And I'm gonna move down here, escape this person. I get a search card, which is a nice thing. There was 1 left, and then all this is gonna be refilled. Still at 1 health here. So now when I search, my searches are better. I get to roll 2 additional die, and then for the extra person I rescue, I get 2 additional time. So I've rescued 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and the ghost has killed 5 people. So take that, ghost. I rescued just as many people as you murdered. You ghost, you. Okay, so I got my search ability, which is the main goal of all this. I got +2 times, so I'm at 5, because I moved 3 times here. And I think that is all I can do. I gotta search. I can't search anything. I got rid of the short rest. I can't short rest. We have already seen the lightning, so hopefully there's no other cards that will just smack me in the face. There could be, but there might not be. Also, the ghost is limited to how high they can go. The ghost can go 1 more step, which means they'll be moving for 2, hitting for 3 for the rest of the game, unless something says otherwise. So hopefully the bloodlust stays exactly where it's at, because I can deal with that. I mean, 3 movement speed is a lot. 4 movement speed is enough to get anywhere on the board, in most cases. I do need to still go back up to the attic, though, and it's going to be really annoying because I got to walk past the ghost. So I'm going to need some kind of heal. Yeah, okay. No, knowing that I'm gonna need some kind of heal, I think this round is the round I need to buy the long rest. Because I got a search. I need to buy the long rest so I can heal up a little bit. And then, do I want to heal though? I don't think I want to heal. That's the problem. I don't want to heal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cost me 7 to get up there. I could also just try going to the garage and hedge my bets. Maybe I find Carolyn and Mr. Floppy in the same deck. You never know. But at this rate, I have not searched a single deck yet. And a lot of my movement is down here. It might be a good idea to get a close call and a distraction so I can reduce the horror level. Maybe give myself more dice. I mean, 5 is not that high. I mean, well, sorry, 5 is pretty high. 5 is pretty high on the horror level because it's currently on 5 horror level. I need to get down to 1, so I need to get 2 distractions. So the question is, should I discard this now and do distraction twice? No, that's risky. That's, well, it's not that risky. I'll be rolling 3 dice. Okay. Where's my sheet? There it is. I'll be rolling 3 dice, and I want to get 2 successes. Yeah, I don't like those odds. That's tempting fate too much. I don't like that. All right, so we'll take 1 distraction for our purchase. We'll take a close call, and we'll get all of our walks and focuses back. And the idea here is that all I'm going to do this round is I'm going to do distraction, and that person's going to die, which is unfortunate. But I'm going to do distraction and hope that nothing comes to punch me. If anything comes to punch me at all, I'm a sheet in the wind. I'm going to go flying. So hopefully nothing awful happens. But hey, worse things have happened. So that's that was 4 time that I spent. So I had 1 left. I can't do anything with the 1, so we just reset back to 6. It goes to waste. All these cards are liberated. Alright, alright. Okay. Alright, Ghost is gonna move, slap that person down politely. And Bloodlust is gonna max at 6. So the Ghosts did not quite reach their scariest level, but they are pretty close to it. Alright, let's see. Do I die? Oh, I might. I might die. I have no guards. Oh yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's game. Oh, no, it's not game. Okay. So Ghost is going to roll a die depending on the result. Place the killer in that room. Okay, so I might die. If the Ghost is teleported to the garage, I die. Oh no, I lied. Sorry, this is the attic, the closet, or the ballroom. If the Ghost is teleported to the ballroom, I die. So if I roll a 6, I die. The one time I don't want to roll a 6. Actually, you know what? Because the Queen of Horror deck has been sitting over here chilling this whole time, let's see. Does my creation betray me? I'm just gonna flip it. If it's a 6, I die. Okay. Thanks, Queen of Horror deck. Alright, thanks for playing. That's a 6. Black Queen's a 6, of course. I should have known. I mean, we had, what? Ugh. That's unfortunate. 1, 2, death. Alright. Well, that's it for that. A little bit anticlimactic, because my own creation over here murdered me. But you know what? You know what? At least I had another option instead of just rolling dice. Now it feels like it's my own fault for flipping that card. I could have rolled dice. I could have just rolled dice, but no. I decided to flip a card. Alright, so that's it for me. I have been murdered. Now we go into the post-game analysis. I just want to roll a die. This is not indicative of what would have happened, but I want to roll a single die. If it's a 6 as well, then my fate is sealed. We'll just call it that. Okay, I might have survived. But at any rate, 1 in 6 chance that the Ghost will pop up here, and guess what? The Ghost popped up there. So that is, that's it. That's unfortunate. Any other place, the Ghost will not have make it, because they can move only 3. So if the Ghost went into the closet, 1, 2, 3. If the Ghost went to the attic, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Not have been that. But nope, had to be a 6. Had to be a 6 eventually. This is a random number generator. We got a random number, and here we are, dead. Alright, so the secondary question is, would I have been able to do anything useful? I think it would have been touchy at best, because my best move next turn would have been to do distraction to try to get the horror level down. Assuming I succeeded with getting 2 stars, because I'm rolling 3 dice, then I would have gotten it down to 3, and then I might have pushed it 1 more time to do a focus. to try to drop it down one more, so I'll be at 2. Nope. Yeah, I'll be at 2 horror level total. And then after that, I would probably have lost at least one time. I would assume I would have lost at least one time. So I get +2, -1, so I'll be at 7 time. So with 7 time, this is me just hypothetically calling out what might have happened. What could have happened. If I had done it, what would have happened type thing. And then at that stage, the ghosts will be close enough to where I need to worry about them. So I would probably try to get a guard for 2. And then I would try to get a long rest so I can try to heal up as much as I could. And then from there, just kind of play it by ear. It'll be very annoying because I have to walk slowly up here without having my 3 dice benefit. But that's kind of the situation we're in. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. I am, man, I don't know. Like I feel like I still feel the same way about this particular scenario, the same way I felt the first time I played it. The first time I played it was much worse because the Ghostbusters moved in a very silly way. They all panicked in a very awkward way to where I couldn't rescue any of them after the ghost killed one of them. And it made it really bad because I also had a situation to where I needed to go upstairs and rescue people, and then more people panicked into the attic, and then they died because the no one comes back card came out. So it was like a really bad situation. Also, see, Carolyn was in the garage, and remember, I need to find both Carolyn and Mr. Floppy. So Mr. Floppy was not in the attic. Mr. Floppy was in the closet. So Mr. Floppy's in the closet, Carolyn's in the garage, and I needed both of them. And also Mr. Floppy was at the bottom of the garage, or of the closet. So that would have been a long time for me to actually find him. And remember, I needed to find both Carolyn and Mr. Floppy to get this card. So yeah. So do I think this one was possible? No. There's been like a thought at one point that I had of like, maybe if I could win the game before the ghost gets their dark power, then I can kind of win this one. But when you're playing with that epic dark power, I want you guys to realize that it's impossible, because the ghost or the killer is almost guaranteed to kill at least 2 people per game, at least, bare minimum. I don't care how good you are at this game, how well you roll dice. If all your cards play out the exact perfect way, the ghost will be able to kill at least 2 people, or the killer will be able to kill at least 2 people. In that case, the ghost gets their dark power at level 2. Which is very, 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 very fast. And that means that now I need to find both Carolyn and Mr. Floppy, and I haven't even got my search ability online yet. By the time we got to turn 1, I think the ghost got their dark power, because they killed a Ghostbuster, and that raised it by 2, which means that they had their ability immediately, and that just led to a bunch of cascading situations of unfortunateness. And one of the things, sorry, we're in the post-game analysis, by the way, so I'll try my hardest to keep this to less than 20 minutes. But I can't make any promises. I'll try my hardest, but I failed before. I might fail again. But the main thing is that yeah, there's a lot of there's a ramping issue with this game, and I say it every single time I play it. Some people might wonder by now, it's like, hey, you keep talking about how you have this issue and that issue with the game. What are you doing to actually try to address it? And that's where the mods that I have come in. I also am trying to be as mindful as I can and as true to the mechanics as I can to try to understand, okay, this is what the statistics are saying, and this is what the other statistics are saying. So what does the game want me to do? What should I try to be doing to try to be successful? How do I become successful in this game? And the only way to kind of it sucks to say it, but the only way to actually win this game is to get items. And the reason why I say it sucks to say that is because searching for items takes time, takes literal time, takes resources for you to actually do. You have to go out of your way to actually go get items, and sometimes the items that you get are very unfortunate. There was one game that I played, without telling you which game it was, to where I found the ancient text and thought it was great because I can lose a health to gain 2 time. So I just used, and I can use it as many times as I want. So I used it a bunch, I got a bunch of time, I had like this big amazing turn afterwards, and then I died because lightning struck or something. I don't know, something weird happened, to where I ended up dying. And that was very unfortunate. In this exact specific scenario, I need either candle or flashlight to be reasonable for this game to be feasible. So part of me was saying, okay, let me just go to the attic, search for the candle, and get the candle and call it a day so I can actually get my movement. But the problem with that is that worst case scenario for me is I make it to the attic, I roll blanks, I have no rerolls, so I must increase the horror by 2, and then I lose 2 time. So not only am I going out of my way to go into the attic, to try to get this thing that is hard for me to search for, And then not only am I one person short for my ability, but I also increased the horror level such that I'm going to be using one dice anyway. So it became a point where it's like, okay, let me just go ahead and just roll the one die, rescue the people, and then go to the attic. The problem with that is that on the way up to that situation, the ladder broke. Of course, I mean, I knew it was going to happen eventually, but the ladder broke, which means that my path to actually rescue people went from, because there was 3 people here, went from going 1, 2, 3, and it suddenly, all of a sudden became 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it basically doubled it. And with that simple doubling, it's like, yeah, it's just doubled your movement. Like, yeah, it doubled the movement, which means that I need to have, like, I had a very lucky, a very fortunate turn to where I was here, and I had all of my move maxed out, which is great because I was hurt enough to where I could actually go through it. And like some people say, yeah, that's part of the game. You need to plan around that. You need to be injured so you can actually get stuff. To which I say that's a very awful tool to have. Like this game does not, in my opinion, give you enough tools to actually or tackle the challenges. This game is very much saying, hey, this is a meat grinder, and we're gonna grind as much meat as we can, you included. To which I'm saying, okay, cool, meat grinders are fun, and you can do a whole bunch of cool stuff with it. But do I have the ability to kind of manipulate the odds? Do I have the ability to make it to curry favor with this game? And the game says yes, you do. Those things, those two specific tools that I think are very powerful, but also very, very, very random, are coming back to life. Because if I had not come back to life, which is a 1 in 3 chance I come back to life, if I had not come back to life, the game would have been over as soon as I got struck by lightning. Because when I got struck by lightning, it did the damage of the ghost. So there's a 1 in 3 chance that I get this. So that's a 33% chance I get to finish playing or continue playing the game. And then after that 33% chance, there's a certain percentage chance to which I have kind of limited mitigating factors to try and move 8 spaces to rescue enough people to get my power. And then once I get my power, then there's a chance, there was a, what was this, a 1 in 6 chance, so it's another percentage chance, a non-0% chance that the ghost was going to walk up to me and punch me. Now, arguments can still be made, and I still want to emphasize that these arguments are very good arguments and should be considered. Arguments can be made that I should have taken a guard to be safe. Actually, no, that's not true. I don't think I could have taken a guard. Yeah, because the guards were down here. Oh, yeah, sorry, that's not a lie. That's a lie. Arguments could be made that I should have taken a retaliate, but in this particular scenario, to where I'm fighting the Poltergeist, what circumstance am I going to use retaliate? Retaliate costs 4 time, and it doesn't do anything to the ghost. The ghost has no health. And if I fail a retaliate anyway, I get nothing anyway. I mean, yeah, the ghost is only hitting for 2, and I can reduce it by 2 with 1 success, but that costs 4 time to do. Like, the fact that the 0 effect here just gives you nothing, whereas on the guard card is, you know, not that much better, but 0 successes on a guard let you reduce the damage by 1 to a minimum of 1. That's fine. You know, like that's fair. So I feel like for a card that costs as much as retaliate, it's like, why do I get nothing? I mean, maybe reduce it by 2 to a minimum of 1. Like, you know, just kind of scale up that ability because I'm spending more time. That'll be cool. But that's a whole different conversation path that I wasn't really trying to focus on. The main thing I'm trying to focus on, though, is that there's a 1 in 3 chance that I actually come back and can continue playing the game. And then there's technically a 1 in 10 chance that I get that card at the worst possible time, which unfortunately happened for me. So 1 in 10 chance that I get that card at the worst possible time, which it did. So that's unfortunate. You know, that's one of those things happen situations. Sure, I'll accept that. Take that at face value. And then in this situation, there's a 1 in 3 chance I come back alive. I came back alive with the max health, which is pretty cool. And then I was able to strategically move in here, take damage, and then try to walk these people out, which rolling 3 dice, I just needed 2 successes. So let's assume the best here. Let's assume the best here. For 2 successes, we'll go with the higher stat. I'm rolling 3 dice, 2 successes, 74% chance that I do that the first time, and then 74% chance to do it a second time, 74% chance to do it a third time. The percentages become less and less. So like the chances that I do that all 3 times for success specifically, or have the resources to do it, become less and less likely as I go along. But we're just gonna benefit of the doubt, assume I have all the resources possible, get the things that I need, and there's a 74% chance that kind of scales downward. And that's for me to get all the max movement that I needed. Fortunately, in our situation, I did not need the max movement. I could do it by 1 less walk, which was convenient, because it was 1 space closer than what I was planning for, which that worked out for me in my favor, because in that last movement, I ended up getting only 1 success, 1 partial really, and then I made it 1 success by discarding 2 cards, which was very unfortunate. But the whole situation I'm trying to bring up is that I needed to move 8 spaces to actually get some semblance of a possibility to win this game. And then after that, after all that happened, then the ghost teleported. A 1 in 6 chance they go to the worst possible spot for me, which is the ballroom. And they they got it from the Queen of Horror deck, and all of a sudden I'm dead. So there's percentage on top of percentage on top of percentage on top of percentage, and there's not enough tools available for me as a final girl in this game to actually fight against that. And that's the part that I disparage the most with this game. The tenacity counters, once again, as one of the most bare minimum of implementations for this game, I feel like that should at the very least give me just barely enough tools to kind of consider this being a little bit doable. We saw in a situation to where I really needed to move, so I instead of relying on 3 random dice, I cashed in one of my counters. I rolled 2 dice. Those 2 dice happened to be stars, which was, you know, fortunate, but, you know, I basically curved the odds in my favor, because my chances of getting 2 stars, my chances of getting 2 stars on those dice was 11%, but I just needed 1 more star. So I basically reduced it from a 4% chance of me getting 3, numbers getting weird. I basically reduced it from a 26% chance of me getting 2 stars on 3 dice to me instead only needing 1 extra star on 2 dice. So I increased my chances by a lot. Like that's a jump. That's a 30% jump. I increased my statistics by 30%. That's what I call a tool that allows me to kind of beat the game and win the game. And once again, I want to clarify, especially for people who are very much sold into the atmosphere, especially for people who are very much sold into the idea of the feeling this game gives you and the tension it gives you and the story it tells. This game does tell a cool story. I just wish I could play the game while it's telling the story. What I mean by that is there's a lot of 0-player situations in this game to where the game says, I'm going to take the wheel, I'm going to play this game for you, and then here you are. This is what your board state looks like now. It's like, okay, cool. Can I do anything to manipulate the board state? It says, yeah, you can play that card. I play the card. It says, no, you can't, because I rolled 2 dice that say fail. Or in the situation that guard, I roll the 4% chance of getting a complete fail, which is a 1-2-2 or a 1-1-2. I don't know what the combination was. 4% chance I had that. If I had not had 2 guards in my hand, I would have been in a bad situation. To which a very astute argument could be, that's why you need to have multiple cards in your hand. To which I say, okay, cool, I agree. I need to have multiple cards in my hand. My hand limit is 10. What if my hand limit was at 11 when I bought that card and I need to drop something and I decide to drop the guard? What's gonna happen then? So there's a lot of discussion that could happen about the mechanics, about what's actually balanced, what does the balance look like, how do you actually strike that balance between the stress of the game and the ability of the player to overcome that stress. And it's also extremely difficult. Like, I don't want to trivialize this, and I want to like have people understand that it's very difficult to balance a game that's a 1-player game, because the only person playing this game is me. If I wasn't recording this, I might have said, oh well, I didn't roll that 6, I instead rolled a 4, haha. But no, I mean, yeah, I was going to play the game the way the designers intended it, and I'm just going to try to point out that, hey, these are some awful tools that you've given me to work with this, especially when things like this exist. Like, there's a chance that these cards came out instead, which these are my alternatives that I could have had, which is no one comes back, which is everybody in the attic dies, and I can't go into the attic, which sucks. Sorry, victims can't go into the attic. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt me. It says, place a skull token in the attic. All victims in the attic are killed. Whenever a victim enters the attic, they are killed immediately. So that doesn't make it to where I cannot go in there. I had a very fortunate situation where all the victims ran away from the attic. So an ideal situation for me in this game would have been, instead of lights out showing up, no one comes back showing up. That would have been perfect, because I was like, okay, cool. I don't need to take victims up there anyway. I just need to go up there myself and search for the candle and whatever is up there and try to get some stuff. So that goes a long way to say that that would have been the best scenario for me, or the best event to come out for me. So there's a 1 in 3 chance that I get that. The other one, Push to the Edge, is also sucks. I think we had something similar to this come out with a tarot card, to where people near the windows fell out of the window, and that was unfortunate. But Push to the Edge would have been one of those initial events to kind of force that to happen too. So in this case, there's one of these 3 events which is actually terrible for me, which is lights out. Yes, in the moment, Push to the Edge, or in the circumstance, Push to the Edge could be awful. Yes, depending on the circumstance, no one comes back could have been awful as well. But in my specific game, especially since that tarot card came out that killed those, that moved away one person and threw the other person out the window anyway, since that came out, it was a perfect situation for Push to the Edge to come out. It was a perfect situation for no one comes back to come out, because everybody in the attic luckily panicked down, which is great. So that means that there's a, what is that? That's a 67% chance that I get what I wanted. And the 33% chance prevailed, which Lights Out came out, and I was like, okay, well, this game became less possible because of that. to where I had to do all these silly things to try to like manipulate the tools as much as I could, massage the fact that I had 1 health, and try to heal up when I needed to, and then even then I still died because the lightning strike struck, and it did a little bit more damage than I would have hoped it would have done. Because if I'd remembered that it'll have done the damage of the killer instead of just 1 damage, because I thought I was gonna do 1 damage. If I had remembered correctly that it did the damage of the killer, I would have definitely discarded the extra 2 cards to make that of 2 successes, so I can get the 3 health and survive that 1 shot. That would have been in my planning, but one miscalculation on my side. But even then, me being somebody who's played this scenario a few times already, specifically this one twice. This is my 2nd time playing through this exact specific scenario. But for me, somebody who's been playing on Creech Manor a few times, not saying I'm professional by any stretch of imagination, the question that I ask is, if somebody's walking into this game brand new, doesn't know anything about mechanics, and you want them to play this game and enjoy it, and you want them to invest in it and kind of spend a lot of time with it, are you giving them the right tools? Are you teaching them the correct things to where they know what to do in these situations? Like, it took me a few games to understand that, yes, I start the game with 6 cards in my hand, but I have 2 actions. And for those who might be wondering what I'm talking about, just to, because I talk about this every single time, but I'll talk about it here one last time before this would be the last point I bring up, because I don't want this to go super long, is that I start the game with these 6 cards in my hand. And yes, I got 6 cards in my hand, but I have 2 actions. What I mean by that is that, statistically speaking, my chances of getting the successes, because we presume that we want 2 stars, there's 11% chance I do that. And the chances of me doing that 6 times in a row is very, 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 very small. It's possible, but it's very small. If I can do that, I might as well just try to hit the lottery today. But it's more likely that I'm going to get 1 star half the time. So that's just assuming that I play only 6 cards and I accept whatever results. I play 1 card, I get 1 star, because there's a 56% chance of me doing that with two dice to roll. So that means that I get the reduce the horror by 1 and lose 1 time. I do the walk. There's a 56% chance that I get this. So let's say I'm still on the positive side. I get to move 1 space, lose 1 time. And then I do my... There's no need for me to do weak attack or short rest, so those are kind of dead cards anyway. Another focus. I get 2 fails, so I lose 2 time, because we're on the other side of the 56% chance. And let's say I do my next walk, and I luck up and I get the 11% chance. You know, these chances aren't good. These percentages are awful. But if you think about it in a situation of partial successes and full successes, your stats go way up. So if you want 2 successes and you count that as a partial success and a full success, there's a 44% chance of you getting that. There's a much higher chance of you doing that. And if you just do it twice, or maybe 3 times if you want to push it, you can do it. So let's say I roll these dice, and I'm gonna just go ahead and roll the dice. So I'm rolling 2 dice, and I have a partial success and a fail. So with that partial success, I'm gonna say, okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and discard my obligatory short rest and weak attack, and move 1 space and then lose 1 time. Now I'm gonna play my next card, a walk. There's a 89% chance I get a star, or sorry, there's 89% chance I get something like this, which I can deal with because I have 2 cards. But now I'm a little bit risky because I only got 2 cards, so I can only deal with 1 of those. Sorry, I explained that very badly. But my point I'm trying to bring up is that 89% chance I get something that I can work with. That's what I'm trying to say. So roll my 2 dice, and all right, cool. I ended up with this situation, which chances of me getting 2 fails is the same chances of me getting 2 successes with 2 dice, because we're just changing the dice face. So there's 11% chance that this happens, and it just happened to happen, so I just have to deal with the fact that I can't do it. So what do? I just kind of take the lesser effect. I move 1 space, lose 1 health, lose 2 time, and I think at that point, I think I'm out of time, because I lost 1 time from this. I discarded these 2 to make a success, and then... Oh, I've only played 2 cards? Oh. Right, my point exactly. I've only played 2 cards. So, I've only played 2 cards, this is where I am. So at this point, if I want to continue doing more stuff, I'm risking it. I can try to play another focus, but in reality, I got 2 action points in that first turn. If I do anything more, I'm really pushing the odds. I'm really taking a chance. I'm really gambling. I'm rolling those dice, literally. And that's not a gamble you're going to win all the time. You might win it a few times, but it's a little bit risky. It's a gambler's fallacy situation. So that's kind of the whole point of that. That's kind of the reason why at a certain point I was like, you know, I got a few cards in my hand, but I'm going to do one thing and not anymore because I want to push it. That's the logic behind why. But the sooner you can figure this out, the better your games will go in the future. And that's going back to what I was talking about before. Is like, I don't think that this game prepares the player enough to get them ready to understand how to use their tools. Like, you can look at the items, and some of these items are fantastic. Like energy drink, it's not the greatest item in the world, but it's nice. You get 3 times, so you can buy yourself a nice fancy card. You get to move 1 space. That's pretty nice. That can be nice in a pinch. Candle's pretty nice because it allows you to pull a victim from where they are to you, which is very nice because that means that you can, like that 3 people situation I had up here before, to where there's 3 people up here. What I could do in that situation, assuming I only had 2 movement to use anyway, I can do 1, 2, and then candle this person from this room over here, which is perfect. And then I can try to, do a walk. Let's say I move 1 space down here. Let's assume this is not broken yet. And then from there, on my next round, because I can do it once per action phase, on my next action phase before I move, I can candle this person down, and then walk out here, throw these people away. What a statement. Rescue these people, and then maybe hang out here for a turn, and the next turn candle this person down anyway. Like that's like a really cool thing you could do, but you have to go find the item. In order to find the item, you need at least a walk, you need at least a search, and you need probably a close call. So you need at least a walk, at least a search, probably a close call, and some luck to try to get those things that you want. And that's how much resource. Let's assume you go with the cheapest path that you can for that. You're paying 0. Where's the search? Search is 2, right? Yeah. You're paying 0 plus 2 plus 1. So that's 3 times that you need at least. You need at least 3 times to do that. And sometimes it doesn't pan out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So I think I was going to keep this under 15-20 minutes. So we might be hitting that higher time. So I am going to stop my post-game analysis at that point. A lot of things I love about this game, don't get me wrong, but a lot of things that I just kind of feel need a lot more tweaking, and I will do my best to try to explain those as much as I can within reason. And maybe something will come of it. Maybe I'll think of another mod that might make this game a little bit more enjoyable for myself. It's enjoyable enough for me to keep going, but that's the end of my post-game analysis. Hashtag, what would I critique about this game? Hashtag? No, not hashtag. AKA. There you go. All right, cool. So that's it for Creech Manor. Hopefully you all enjoyed this playthrough. I am going to do the second playthrough now, so if you're watching a live stream, I'm going to jump to that video after I clean up all this. And then if you're watching this on YouTube later on, go ahead and check out the next video, and we'll see how I do in that one. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it, and as always, I will see you all whenever.